I got golden egg here. No, it wasn't laid by the gobbledygooker. It's to promote The Rock's new movie. Wait, somebody stole this. Who actually did it? Was it Hector Guerrero? Johnny Ace, fire more people over this. People power! I'm John Renton with my review of WWE Survivor Series 2021. And fuck the whole goddamn crowd in the Barclays Center, except the people that tried to shut up the fucking idiots that were inside the Barclays Center. 15,000 some odd people, and some were chanting CM Punk, CM Punk. They were shut down. Apparently some fans were singing Judas because a Judas was in their mind. Let's hear it for the Judas. There were some good crowd reactions during this show, but honestly, I don't blame some fans for being tuned out because, well, there was one fucking show-killing match during this. Let me know your thoughts on this show in the comments, please. And no appearance of Dwayne's Rockhard Johnson to maybe, promote a match with the Tribal Chief. We get the Tribal Chief versus Dwayne's Rockhard Johnson. Can't even talk right now because some of this show pissed me the fuck off. But anyway, yeah, let's get fucking into this, why don't we? I'm just going to say right now that I will be amazed if they did not do some kind of papering for this venue, because I have a very hard time believing that they didn't discount some tickets, because with the state of WWE right now, I mean, they had to bring out the golden egg here. Vince McMahon shoved Reggie away. Okay, I'll stop doing that because that Vince McMahon voice basically makes me, shoot my goddamn voice right there, and I still got a review to cut. So, the kickoff panel was Shiny Kayla, Jerry, what is the age of consent in New Jersey? Lawler, people like Booker T, because I'm just going to knock Booker T from now on, because even though he had a tremendous career and the fucking storyline in 2003 with Triple H was bullshit, Booker T has done more to torpedo his fucking career by just knocking people repeatedly. Oh, Big E's got to get more serious and stuff like that. Booker, I hate to say this, but for a while you got over by doing the Spin-a-Rooney, which is a goofy goddamn move, and acting all weird and everything, and your biggest moments came at the end of the life cycle of WCW, which wasn't his fucking fault, but Booker T might want to read the goddamn room. And also maybe just figure out that he should give analysis and he can give his opinions, but he's coming across like an old man that yells at clouds. Sucker! Also, Fox Uncle JBL and Walt Disney's favorite podcaster, Rosenberg. Well, next to the last professional broadcaster in the striped pajamas, Sam Roberts. Well, I'm just going to get people pissed off here. Why do they treat this thing so seriously when they basically make their weekly TV a goddamn joke? Raw will have some serious shit, some good matches, and then they'll go right to the 24/7 stuff and whatever. And then SmackDown will do like Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, Big E. They'll have Drew McIntyre. They'll have some serious stuff. They'll do goofy stuff. Bullshit with the women, not utilize them properly, and then have Shotzi versus Sachi, whatever. I'm just going to go with that. Sasha versus Shotzi. They'll have a match like that, and then they'll have matches that go 3 goddamn minutes. And then there's NXT 2.0, and one hardly needs to go on at that point. So they treat this seriously, and they're treating it like an actual sport. They have DraftKings and all that stuff and everything, and Sasha's, has Team SmackDown, and she's decided to pump it louder, and that's just her hair with Shotzi, and boy, Shotzi looked quite good, didn't she? And Toni Storm, perfectly fine while Toni Storm was on screen. If you ever get a chance to meet Toni Storm, she's a lovely individual and a great talent, and the sky is the limit for her. Probably another company at this point, even though she got a couple moments in the women's elimination match. So yeah, Sasha just knocked the former Miss Blackheart, who is now just Shotzi. I don't know what their obsession is with taking away first or last name. Soon, it's just going to be E. It's not even going to be Big E Langston. He's just going to be E. It's going to be E representing the E. So anyway, Orton will break the amount of pay-per-view matches tonight, and he did that, so good for him. I think he beat Kane, and a number of Raw matches tomorrow. It does prove, A, that times change, and also Orton is a bit of an iron horse, despite the numerous injuries that he suffered, like in the mid-2000s and later 2000s. He has been a hell of a workhorse. I will give him that much credit. So, The Rock's debut clips. I'm just going to say right now, it is amazing looking at where The Rock was on November 17, 1996 in MSG. There were some people chanting his name, and there were some people booing. Not that they hated The Rock, they saw the talent, but what the fuck. Also, after this, check out my Countdowns playlist I did. The Rock's 25 greatest pay-per-view matches ever in the planet. What are we waiting for? Get him out of there. But yeah, clips of that, clips of him, in the 1998 1998 recreation of the Montreal Screwjob. What am I talking about? That's the only Screwjob. They would never recreate moments and try to go back to the well and poison the goddamn well. Vince would never do that. Whew. Anyway, they also showed him winning the 2000 Royal Rumble and various other things, and they did not show him coming back when the Lakers beat the Kings in May. All right, so Pat goes nuts for Nakamura, and Damian Priest takes on Shinsuke Nakamura with Rick Boogs. So, it was a champion versus champion match. If you are surprised that this match exists, so am I. Not that they didn't, try, not that they didn't get the crowd into it eventually, but they had no interaction. None. Not a backstage thing, nothing. No, if they had tweets back and forth, I don't know. I don't follow every wrestler on Twitter. I can't really, I can only have so much of a life when it comes to wrestling. My channel notwithstanding with all the content that I post. But they got into this, and Priest was eventually, they got the crowd into it for a bit. Priest was, getting upset because Boogs kept strumming his instrument repeatedly and everything. And let me tell you right now, when somebody keeps strumming their instrument repeatedly, they will usually kick them out of the park. I do not speak from experience. Do not ask me anymore. So nobody kicks out of the Falcon Arrow, and then it actually got the people into it eventually, and then, well, after Boogs decided to strum his instrument, Nakamura goes, and then gets up and everything. He decides to become Shake and Bake Nakamura and get up, and then there's nothing limp about Shinsuke was an actual quote from Pat. Pat McAfee fucking dominated the goddamn commentary in a good way because he actually added to the goddamn show. So, Priest snaps at Boogs because he keeps playing the instrument. He snaps his instrument. Ouch. I usually have to pay extra to get my instrument snapped by a tall Puerto Rican man. And also, I think he's Puerto Rican. And then he hits Nakamura with it. So, because Priest is unhinged, he goes to that dark place. It's for you, Damien. It's all for you. Felt like goddamn doing that same thing that woman did during several points of this match, or several points of this show. Anyway, yeah, so Priest gets DQ'd. So it's kind of funny. I think that's the only match. That and the main event are the only matches that that SmackDown won. So I guess they bookended it with wins. Hooray! So anyway, Owen says he will show that he's a man of integrity about that. So, Vince, oh, God. Okay, so this is still during the pre-show, by the way. The various talents that Vince McMahon did not fire were reacting to him arriving. Thank you for not firing us. So no shit, we better react to this and not smile like Paul London. No Paul London this thing. And holy shit, he's got the golden egg here. I think the gobbledygooker laid it did. Hey, Bruce, would you tell me what this is? Such good shit. Ha ha. Oh, ow, ow. It's a hard voice to do and you realize. But anyway, does Vince know what the fuck Red Notice is? Does he know what an egg is? I'm surprised that they did not decide to have Mae Young's reanimated corpse shat out this egg. I'm actually surprised they didn't do that. So anyway, video package with Red Notice clips. I reviewed Red Notice, by the way. If you haven't seen it, I will tell you. I mean, you can check out my review if you want. It's not bad. It's actually pretty entertaining. Gal Gadot. Fuck. And also, Rock and Ryan Reynolds had some good on-screen chemistry. Not like that. I run a clean show. So they say 15,000 people. They either papered it or something because I have a very hard time believing with the state of this company. Anyway, so it took nearly 10 minutes before we got to a goddamn... It took nearly 10 minutes to start entrances for the next match, or the first match. Charlotte with two braids in the front or whatever, and business in the front, or braids in the front and business in the back. And she was dressed like something, I don't know. And Becky, oops, she did it again. She played with our hearts, got lost in the game. So, I think that's how the lyrics go. It's been years since I heard it. So, Becky versus Charlotte. This was the highlight, and in fact, the only highlight of the goddamn show, because even though there were elements of stuff in the various other matches, this was the best match on the show. Easily. Now, I have knocked Charlotte in the past. I have also praised when Charlotte has done really good shit. And her and Becky brought it. Were there a lot of laid-in shots and a lot of potatoes? It's like were there a lot of were there a lot of baked potatoes being thrown? Were there a lot of Idaho potatoes being thrown? All the spuds in the goddamn world that weren't named Rockstar, because unfortunately he got released along with people, and I hope everybody that got released sans Jackson Riker find work. Fuck Jackson Riker. Fuck his parents for giving birth to him. Because both his parents gave birth to him. No wonder he's a miserable fuck. So anyway, instant fisting action. The crowd was into it. Pat ragged on a Mets fan or whatever. He knows pain, and he's still seeing this happen. And people are like, just all into this. Becky, really goddamn good here. Charlotte, brought it. I think Charlotte is on her way out. I don't know when her contract's up, but if she ain't on her way out soon, I will be surprised. There's split reactions, near falls counters, some great submission work, some great strikes, some great chops laid in. Talk all your shit, Becky. That's something that Charlotte said. Michael Cole, you say dumb things all the time. And he does. Pat's right. I'm not saying that Michael Cole deserves every bit of hate that he gets. I mean, he is at the end of the day, just a human being doing a really bad job at commentary. Seriously, I fucking loathe Michael Cole. I do feel bad that he is losing hearing, and I think he's like 65% hearing loss in one of his ears, and I do feel bad about that. And I mean, to be fair, Vince McMahon screaming in your ears for a while will fucking do that. So anyway, you get a big poot right to the face. Just messy, just splattering all over. Submission, manhandle slam, but on the ropes, oh no! It's rather a heel hook instead of a figure four variation. We get chops, we get a roll-up. Charlotte gets caught, oh no, and then the most devastating maneuver in all professional wrestling. Surprise roll-up, 1, 2, 3. Hooray! Becky wins via roll-up. But you know what? There weren't that many shenanigans. I expected an Oscar run-in. I expected a 50-foot Lily to just show back up. Because why the fuck not? But yeah, Becky outsmarted Charlotte, who has cheated plenty, and Becky's the heel also. So you know what? Becky's almost like a de facto, kind of a tweener. I guess it just depends on the opponent. But this is good. Really good stuff. Maybe one of my favorite matches of the year. We'll have to see. I got a lot of fucking matches I got to go through. A lot. From New Japan, NWA, when I was watching NWA, AEW, and WWE. WWE. Easy for me to say. Anyway, let us get to Becky saying, I'm the fucking best, the freaking best, is whatever she said. She probably actually should have just said that, because I could imagine that the camera probably wouldn't have caught it. So we get Drew package on his rising potential. Stop thinking about it. I know you're thinking about it. Lashley entrance and recaps. How is he 45 years old when he looks the exact same as he did in 2005? Look at him when he debuted. Look at him now. Fucking incredible. Just incredible. Now, he is on his final run, as he said, and I don't know how long his contract goes. I hope that he signed a new contract and he wrestles at least another couple years. I think he deserves, if they want to have a send-off for him at, say, WrestleMania 39, that's fine. Because he would be, at that point, about 47. And the man can still go, if he wants to go to 50, fuck, he still could. He wrestles a safe enough style. But there were 12 minutes of entrances. This was a big issue with this show, to where the point they had to rush one of the women's matches, or the only other women's match, because they just kept fucking going. So Team SmackDown, which was Drew, Jeff Hardy, King Woods, Happy Corbin. Seriously, I fucking check out of this one. Corbin is safe and smooth and crisp in the ring and does not hurt his opponents. As far as a character, fucking hate him. Moss, fucking hate him. And I don't mean hate, I want to see them get beat up. No, I want them off my fucking television. And Sheamus is also there. None of Ridge's bulging club out there. Speaking of bulging clubs, Balor was right there. Noah, stop thinking about it. And so Team Raw, yeah, Balor, Owens, Rollins, Lashley, and Theory. Owens is in there, fired up, and then walks out. Just says, I'm going to show I'm a man of integrity. But Owens is leaving. Owens has to be leaving. I don't know what the fuck else they'd be doing. He could do whatever the fuck he wants. If he wants to get money, but then again, he could just get fired in a few months like everybody else has, because what the fuck are contracts? And anyway, Corbin got eliminated, so that's good. This got messy. There were elements of not bad. There was a time where Lashley was just gripping Drew's thickness and ramming him repeatedly into the post. Again, I run a clean show. And the Spear to Woods and the Hurt Lock eliminates him. And then Drew and Lashley face off. And they both get eliminated via countout. Because why the fuck not? Why not? We've had a DQ. We've had other sloppiness. Why not just start having countouts? This is not the only countout finish we fucking get either. And again, it protects people, but if you can't figure out a way to do it right and keep them strong, don't fucking put them in the goddamn match. And then, Claymore afterwards, and then he hits the Glasgow kick. Give us a kiss! Oh, shouldn't try to impersonate Samoa Joe after trying to impersonate Vince McMahon. Sheamus capitalizes for 2. We get a bro kick on Balor for 3. Jeff and Sheamus team up, and they repeatedly drill and club Theory and Rollins from behind. Then a roll up on Sheamus. Theory eliminates him. Sheamus says, sorry, Jeff. And it says, no, I'm sorry. Boom, hits him. And then a frog splash by Seth for 2. A swanton on Theory for 3. We are down to Seth and Jeff. In 2021, Jeff Hardy is the final, or is the sole, or, one of the last 2 in his Survivor Series elimination match for no goddamn reason. And Seth wins. Cool. Whatever. I mean, Seth won. Okay. So Vince and Roman are talking, and hey, there's this giant egg here. This giant egg. He is the Eggman, KaJoob. So he says it's worth $100 million. Oh, about as much as my next contract. Roman says, it's given to me by your cousin. Ha ha ha. So anyway, everyone's already in the, or like 80% of people are in the ring for the Battle Royal. Why are there picnic tables? Oh, we're having a Pizza Hut sponsorship. Now, there's a triple box. By the way, I knew a girl that had that specialty, and if you paid her extra, you could put every steaming hot piece of meat in her. Moving on. And Byron was denied. Why do people hate Byron Saxton? I'm not saying he's amazing on commentary, but I don't think he's bad. 25-man Battle Royal. Did I write everybody down that was in this? Nope. Jinder, Gable, Majin Buu, the Raiders, and Humberto and Angel Garza, and Sami Zayn, and Almost and Styles, and Drew Gulak got eliminated first, and various others and stuff like that. And the crowd was chanting, we want pizza. Almost eliminates like about 15 million people in this 25-man Battle Royal, somehow. And this was dog shit. This took me out of the show. This was absolute shit. All about Styles and Almost. About that Styles and Almost. No trouble. And Sammy got eliminated. Styles was gone. Why is this happening? Almost wins. And then the Profits steal the pizza. Almost is upset. And they throw pizza into the crowd. And greasy, steaming, hot meat was flying into people's faces or whatever. Typical for some people in Brooklyn. At least some women in Brooklyn that I know. I'm sorry. I'm not. But anyway. Yeah. The Profits, of course, as Roddy Piper once said, the only tag team in the world I know that worked. Anyway. So, The Rock wins the 2000 Royal Rumble. So, this was terrible. This was just terrible by this point. They just didn't know what the fuck. Ass pigeons were just flying around like crazy. That Battle Royal was shit. That is one of the worst goddamn matches this year. And I'm surprised that they have that many people still employed. I mean, I know they got a bunch of people. They've just, at first I understood releasing some. They aren't using them, but goddamn. It's just getting sad now because now it's going to end up being the same people unless they call up people from the Performance Center, bring a bunch of people up from NXT 2.0, and have, I don't know what the fuck that was. I don't know why I'm doing gang signs, and just decide to have a bunch of fresh meat up there. And a bunch of fresh meat on SmackDown so Roman can get head at the table. Usos and RK Bro had a match. 2 Usos, 1 Bro, and 1 cup of Venomous Viper. And an RKO to win. Was the action bad? No. Did I care about the match? No. Moving on. Vince talks to Sonya and Pierce. Someone stole my $100 million egg. Fire some people. People power. I did like how Sonya was prominently displaying her pink on camera, though. Says he'll get to the bottom of this on Raw if it's not returned. They are continuing this, and I thought the Vince McMahon blowing up storyline was bad. And we can't have anybody murdering their wife and child and then themselves to end a terrible storyline. Please don't do that. Chris Benoit doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame either. You fucking idiots. So, yeah, $100 million egg. They are doing a storyline about a $100 million egg when it looked like it was made for about $100. Maybe it's a Matryoshka egg. Maybe there's, 8 more subplots inside. Xia Li vignette from SmackDown replayed. Xia Li's beautiful. I want her to kick me in the face, but I'm worried that they're going to give up on her in a couple months. I hope I'm wrong, because she actually has talent and has improved. So, why is Carmella allowed to wrestle? Dear God, why is she allowed to wrestle? I'm not saying she shouldn't be paid, and she doesn't deserve to have a career. She seems like she's smart. She's just not good in the ring. So Liv gets a good reaction. Rhea, I want her to step on me, and my goodness, she's a goddess. So, they rushed these entrances. Why? Because we were almost 3.5 hours into this fucking show. Well, actually, let's see. We were, well, including the pre-show, we were actually, pretty far into this show. So, Team Raw was Rhea, Bianca, Liv, Zelina, and a burnt fruit roll-up. Basically from Final Destination 3. And I'm going to come off of that, by the way, one of these days when I stop giving a shit. Oh, wait, I don't give a shit now, so who gives a flying fuck? If anybody's offended, oh well, you can like Carmella. I'm not saying you can't. So, Team SmackDown, Sasha, Shotzi, Tony, Natty, and Shayna. Alright, so there were 8 wrestlers in this, and one that should be a manager and one that should not be anywhere near a wrestling ring. So roll up on Carmella because she tried to put the mask on and everything, tried to put something on her face and got top for it. Tony eliminated her. Shayna and Rhea decided to do some stuff. Everybody then just decided to get in there, and then the crowd was doing the wave during this. By the way, fuck the Barclays Center fans for doing that. Not everybody in the Barclays Center. There was some chanting for CM Punk, and they got shut down really quickly. And people were adjusting the audio. Guys, okay, CM Punk's back in wrestling. Watch the other show. I'm not saying WWE is that great, but seriously, you want the women to be featured more? Try treating them with a little bit of respect. I say right after I call Carmella a burnt fruit roll-up that doesn't belong in wrestling. But in all seriousness, I wanted to be invested in this match, and the Battle Royal is what took me out of it. And the tag match. I mean, there were good elements. Shayna and Rhea doing some good stuff. They popped for Sasha and Bianca. They stopped doing the wave there. Then when they stopped doing some crap, then the crowd started chanting CM Punk and doing the wave, and we get a Storm Air Raid crash on Zelina for 3. So Storm has topped 2 women in one night. Okay, that's interesting. So, Liv tops Tony for 3. Stop thinking about it, Kier. Shotzi and Sasha, they tag team Liv for 3. And then Rhea gets quadruple team for 3. It's down to Bianca, 4-on-1. But then Sasha can't get along. They can't get along. And they basically they beat up Sasha, or they keep pulling Sasha back out. Shotzi does it, then Shayna does it, then Natty does his pratfall for no god. And I love Natty. I don't know why the fuck she did that when Bianca sprung off the ropes. And then Sasha gets counted out, even though she broke the plane by getting back in the ring. Yes, her feet were hanging outside, but she got back in. Whatever. Done it in New Japan. Just keep it. Whatever. Sasha got counted out. Lazy shit. Natty got rolled up. Shayna got eliminated. We're down to 1-on-1. And then Belair is still swinging, and we're not even in the South. And then KOD 1, 2, 3. I kind of felt like Vince and Co. should be swinging from the gallows for what they were doing here. Yeah, so Bianca's the sole survivor. Good for her. Heyman tells Kayla that, well, the people of Brooklyn probably stole the egg. It's impossible for 15,000 people to steal the egg, Heyman. I know that's probably the amount of creditors you owe money to when ECW shut down, but seriously, learn to fucking count and learn to fucking budget. So, Brock's suspension is no longer indefinite. Ooh! And he doesn't show up tonight because he couldn't be bothered. Bork couldn't be bothered. Bork steal egg. Bork give egg to Sable. Sable get distracted by shiny egg. Bad Bork. So anyway, Lashley video package. I love Lashley. It felt like he was going in the Hall of Fame. Why'd they put this here instead of on Raw? They could have had this happen and it would have filled a few minutes on a 3-hour show that isn't very good. Day 1 plug. We're down since day 1-ish. If the Usos do not drive that into the ground like they drive on, copious amounts of alcohol, then I don't know what we're doing here. Big E makes his entrance. Roman makes his entrance. It takes about 14 years. And Corey's upset at Pat's commentary. Corey is upset because Pat McAfee was dominating commentary, wouldn't shut up. Here's the difference, Corey. Pat McAfee actually adds life and energy and enthusiasm to commentary, and you haven't been a good commentator since you left NXT. You're a wannabe Jesse Ventura. Bobby Heenan's corpse is a better commentator than you are. And if your widow brain hadn't been rattled around so goddamn much, you might have been still wrestling. But it didn't, and your wife stood by you, and then you left her for a burnt fruit roll-up and left your kids and abandoned them and everything. So good job, Corey, you dumb son of a bitch. So anyway, Pat McAfee was really good on commentary here. Big E versus Roman with Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman having to remind Roman who he is, who you are. And he said, you're the tribal chief and everything. You're going to get head at the table afterwards. Maybe that's just me saying that. And so Roman's fired up. He's fisting and pounding Big E, targeting his knee and everything. After Big E missed the splash on the apron, stopped doing splash on the apron, we get a drive-by in the Barclays Center, not outside the Barclays Center. Crime humor. It's funny. It's not, but I'm going to roll with it. And just sucking the life out of him, draining him dry. I mean, I was thinking about it too, but I'm just going to, let that marinate right there. Thinking about Roman just sucking Big E dry. Hoorah! Anyway, so there were good elements here. They got the crowd into it, but I don't know if it's because the crowd was taken out by a lot of the bullshit early on in the show after Becky and Charlotte brought the crowd up. They got into it later, but this wasn't clicking for me at times. Now, it did later, and it was fine. A rock bottom-like move, because Michael Cole is really fucking bad at it. Go, just quit, you fucking idiot. God, I hate him as a commentator. I'm sure he's a lovely individual, but he sucks on commentary. Three punches, and Big E was hulking up, and meanwhile, Hulk Hogan was outside the Barclays Center, and if you know, you know. And we get a spear on the floor. Why does Big E continue to want to make sure his neck is not able to stand and it's just like a slinky? It's just like Meryl Streep doing the thing and boink, 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 boink. I don't have a special effects budget, so I don't have any budget. I just film it on my phone. Sorry. If you've seen Death Becomes Her, you get it. If you didn't know that was from Death Becomes Her, you're too young for me. Bro? Yeah, that's it. So anyway, the crowd picks up quite a bit, actually. Roman then, grips Big E's thick, meaty head, just jerking down on it, just trying to get him down or whatever, get him on top of him and everything so he can keep jerking down, and lost my train of thought there. But big ending to the ropes. Oh no, Big E's almost got the victory, but he's selling the knee, chop block to knee, spear, 1, 2, 3, and no rock. No appearance of Dwayne's Rock Hard Johnson. I can only imagine how that crowd was. I'm filming this right after the pay-per-view went off the air. So whatever. Yeah, this pay-per-view wasn't very good. There were elements of good. Becky versus Charlotte was fucking tremendous. Elements of Big E and Roman were good. And then there were a few other good parts, but it was just messy with countouts and roll-ups and everything, and a golden egg here. All right, anyway, agree, disagree with what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm Charmethlin. I'll see you soon.